My name is Tammy Joy, and I'm an advocate and a parent coach, helping parents navigate school districts when it comes to special education. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to file the complaint and what you need to put in it, the contents. So what I've been helping parents tweak out their complaints lately. And I found that you guys are right on point. It's, hey, Becca, good, you found me. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you put in your complaint, okay, when you want to file against the school district. But I got to give you guys a little history, recent history. So apparently, it's come to my attention that school districts are filing complaints against parents without citing an allegation of the law. So let me give you a little background. According to the idea, the only way a complaint can be filed is if an allegation of a violation of a law is made. Otherwise, there is no complaint. Okay, well, that doesn't seem to work too well in Massachusetts. Let me tell you a little history. Again, some more stuff. So, parent tells me that the school district files against her in a hearing. So one of the two things that you can file for if you're the school district is when a parent asks for an independent evaluation at public expense, or when there's an issue regarding the initial evaluation. So the very first time your kid has to be evaluated to make a determination as to whether your child is a child with special needs, and you refuse the district to test, you don't give consent. Then, pursuant to 34 CFR 300.300, a school district may, not a school district must, a school district may file for a due process hearing to obtain what's called consent override. Remember that, consent override. What we're finding out, or what I'm finding out, is that consent override is being used for any old thing. For instance, in this case that I'm in right now, the school district files against the parent under the pretense that it had to do with the request from the parent for an independent evaluation. However, the parent rescinded that request. The next day, hey Mary, the next day, the school district filed for a hearing against the parent, knowing full well that the parent said, never mind, I don't want the independent. But you see, that wasn't the only reason why the school district did that. The school district also did that because they want a hearing officer to issue an order to get consent override to force the parent to accept the IEP. Really? You think you're going to get away with that? I've already notified OSEP of the shenanigans that are going on at the BSEA in Massachusetts, and it's been an ongoing issue. They've been doing this for years. I've actually busted hearing officers. I've had them recused off my cases. I've had judges issue orders against them because they didn't comply with the law that said, the state law, that said hearing officers have to include certain things in their decisions. So twice I got the same hearing officer recused from a case, and one hearing officer had to reissue another hearing date, which she didn't do for 6 months. So this is what they're doing. I know they're doing it, and I'm telling you guys, it's a violation, and what it is it's intimidation. School districts are trying to intimidate you guys into doing what they want, to submit to what they want you to do. You have to be in full submission. It's almost as if you're in a relationship, in an abusive relationship. Hi, Shelly. Oh, thank you, honey. So the school, it's almost like you're in a bad relationship, you know, an abusive one, a physically abusive one, or even mental abuse, where the person is abusing you and then they keep it secret. So they all of their information, nobody knows how you're being abused. That's sort of what the state and the Department of Education, the state and the school district is doing. Because you see, nobody knows that the hearing officer is hearing a case. Get this, there are no issues. The complaint that the school district filed against the parent included an IE, a public expense, and that was their IEP that they proposed to the parent appropriate? And if so, can the hearing officer issue an order? An order to do what exactly? What is the order going to say, hearing officer? I would really like to know. What's it going to say? I order you to accept this IEP? Really? So now we live in Russia. Then why even bother with the pretense of having a hearing? So you can spend money unnecessarily on a state hearing for a hearing officer who doesn't even believe in the rule of law. And this hearing officer is an attorney. Apparently, you don't need to be an attorney to break laws. You don't have to be. And you don't have to be an attorney to uphold them either. So what this school district did is, and they're famous for doing this, by the way, or infamous, I should say. I put my pen down. What they did is, so the parent didn't do anything. So now the parent is forced to participate in a hearing that she didn't file, that she doesn't want anything now. Oh, and get this, the parent, while they were in the hearing, there was also a team meeting because guess what the parent did? The parent rescinded her request for an IE because guess what? She got her own. Yeah, it's bad. She got her own. She paid for the independent. She got her own neuropsych to do the assessment, which I gave her the name of the person to go find. And she did. And this woman is wonderful. So the school district did a neuropsych on the kid. It was only 14 pages. The neuropsych the mother paid for, 38 pages. Big difference. Big difference. Okay. And the woman that did it is, everybody in the state knows this woman as a neuropsychologist. I mean, she's famous in Massachusetts. She costs a lot of money. Okay, good. So the school district thinks, and the state thinks, that they can force a parent into a hearing. So because they want to have the hearing officer issue orders against parents because we live now in Russia. I'm sorry. I don't like the dictator, Vladimir Putin. I'm sorry. I don't want to offend anybody, but I don't like him. I just don't like him. So anyway, while they were doing this, the mother gives the school district a copy while they filed the hearing. She gives the school district a copy of her evaluation that she paid for because they said no. And she rescinded her signature. So now she doesn't want them to do an IE, a public expense. So now they have no reason to be in hearing, right? No. Those idiots, well, I shouldn't even say they're idiots because they're really smarter than smart. Think about it. So what they did is they decided to give her another IEP. She called me. I said, oh, really? Reject it. She rejects the she accepts the IEP. I'm sorry. She accepts the IEP. Remember, there were only 2 issues for the school district when they filed for this hearing, right? 2 issues. An independent evaluation of public expense and an order to tell the parent, an order for the hearing officer to issue to say that the school district's IEP, the one that she rejected, is appropriate. She rescinds her signature for the IE because she paid for the damn thing herself. She gives a copy of the evaluation to the school district. They have a team meeting and they develop another IEP. Guess what the hearing officer doesn't have? The new IEP. So I showed her how to file a motion to dismiss twice. The first time the hearing officer came back and said, she's not going to dismiss the case because there were 2 issues and only one of them was resolved, the IE, a public expense. The parent accepts the new IEP. The placement says to be determined. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Christine. So the IEP says, the placement part of the IEP says to be determined. She can't accept it. It's basically a blank contract. So the IEP that the parent accepts is not before the hearing officer. Do you know what the school district did next? Because now we filed another motion to dismiss because there's no issues now before this numbnut hearing officer. Do you know what she said? Before she could answer, rather. Before she could answer, the school district sent a letter. Not a motion, a letter. Asking the hearing officer to keep the case open. Do you know that dumb hearing officer said she's going to keep the case open? For what? There's nothing before you. What are you going to issue an order on? An IEP that was never before you? On a complaint that doesn't exist anymore because all of the issues were resolved? Really? So that's what we're doing now? Good. So I want to tell all of you, because this is happening in 3 states. It happened twice here in Pennsylvania with me. It's happened 4 times. It's happened now twice in Massachusetts. And I am aware of at least 2 more cases in New York from another parent. So apparently OSEP is okay with this. So this is what we're going to do. So remember when I used to tell you guys, don't tell them your sad story, they don't care? Okay, forget all of that. That's a lie. They do care, apparently. Because they care when the school district talks about their feelings. They care when the district wants to just drag the parent into a hearing and the parent is up against a school district's attorney and the parent has to what? Go pay for an attorney? Are you kidding me? For a hearing that doesn't have any standing in any court in any damn country, in any state in this country? Are you kidding me? Oh, you guys want to play? This is what we're going to do from now on. From now on, if the school district, if you ask for a team meeting, let's say this, if the school district asks for a team meeting and you want certain people there and they say no, file for a hearing. File for a hearing. Here's the one thing that's going to happen to you guys, okay? If you file for a hearing, every time those numbnuts do something stupid, it'll desensitize you from the stigma and the fear and the pomp and circumstance of going to a stupid state hearing. It'll stop you from being afraid, because after a while you'll just start to realize it's nothing more but a more formal team meeting. The only difference is you got a hearing officer from the state sitting there deciding your case, and you get a decision, and the decision can be appealed in, wait for it, court, in, wait for it, federal court. And if you're indigent, or if your child receives free and reduced lunch, under federal law, you're considered indigent. So guess what that means? You get to file the federal court case for free. I can show you how, and I can help you do it from where I'm sitting right now. Doesn't matter what state you're in. I know this because I've helped other parents do it from Pennsylvania, in other states. That's right, Leanne. That's my girl right there. That's her, okay? She's no joke. When I first met Leanne, she didn't know anything about this stuff, and she did not want any part of this nonsense. She was like, I can't do that. Shoot. Leanne ain't no joke. You would think that girl's been doing this her entire life. In fact, she loves it. It's fun for her. See, with people like her and I, doing this, you guys say it's passion. No, it's not passion, honey. It's fun. It's really fun because we get to read the stupid stuff that they put in paper. And it's just ridiculous. And her and I are constantly laughing at them. They think they're so smart, and they're not. They're just dumb the day after every meeting. See, you guys have to learn how, you guys have to understand that I understand that this is not a game. Not to you. This is your kid. However, there is a way to have some fun with it. Because if you don't laugh, you're going to drive yourself nuts. And then you're going to really need a psychologist. You seriously, you're going to need somebody, you're going to need some therapy and all kinds of stuff, because these people are crazy. Can someone send me a sample? Do file. Y'all have filed. I don't know what that means, honey. Say that one again. I'm going to show you guys how to write. It's real easy. So let's take, for instance, and I got something for this woman. This stupid hearing officer, I already sent numerous emails, and I listed all the cases to OSEP, and I said, so we're just going to play this game? Is that what we're going to do? This wombat is going to leave a case open that doesn't even cite an allegation of law, and all of the issues in front of her are gone, and she's still going to keep the case open because she's already determined. This hearing officer basically already determined what's gonna be the result, what her decision is. And nobody's gonna be able to tell me it doesn't do it. It's a sample due process complaint. A sample, okay. That's what she wants? Yes. We got them all day long. I will just have to redact them. We got to redact. But see, that's why I wrote that sample sheet, Mary, is because it came from all of my files. Every case is different. And so you're going to, what I have to do is I have to create a sample form. It's going to be a fill-in form. And then you guys just fill in. I'll have all the laws there, and I'll tell you exactly what to do. You can take out the ones you don't need because, Leanne, tell them. Don't they violate the same laws over and over and over again? They just do it on a different way. So it's the same on a different day. That's all it is. And you guys have to start thinking more like me and Leanne. You just have to, it's a whole different way of thinking, okay? You can't think that I got to do this and it's going to be hard. And everything. Can someone send me a sample due process file and you have file? I can do that, but I have to redact it. I have to redact it or get permission from the parent to send it to you because it's got all kind of information in there about the kid. All right. It's constant. They violate the. I kept telling Leanne that when I first met her. She didn't believe me. So we go. I got to tell the story. So we go to a hearing. The first hearing we go to, let me tell you what these morons did to Leanne. Leanne, can I please? I'm telling anyone, I don't care. So anyway, these morons, Leanne calls me up and she's like, she tells me this story. And I said, okay, send me the files. So we get the files and I'm looking for the evaluations. Because they said, like her son doesn't have any disability. And I'm like, what? Okay. And, he does. So, I said, so she sent me all the documents and I'm like, where are the evaluations? She said, well, that's it. I said, that's not it. I said, what I see here is opinions. I said, and you know what they say about opinions, right? She said, yeah. I said, so these idiots use their opinions to determine whether or not your kid should have an IEP or services or any of that? She said, yes. I said, let's go to hearing. So we go to hearing. They're so stupid. This is the case that I told you guys about with those idiots because they use their opinions. They wrote that their evaluations. They used the word evaluation and then proceeded to tell us all about their stupid opinion. Okay, their opinion. This was a 3-day hearing about how dumb their opinion is because their dumb opinion does not meet the federal criteria. This was my first case with her. When I got done with them, they were found to be in non-compliance and they ended up having to pay $10,000. This is just for the evaluations because the hearing officer let them know in no uncertain terms that their evaluations are poo-poo caca. Okay, when you put it up against technically sound instruments like, I don't know, the Whisk 5, the Woodcock Johnson, the Wyatt 3, you know that. Apparently they don't use that in this school. Before that, there's an article. There's an article that Leanne and I talked to this reporter in the Ithaca Voice. I will put it up on the Facebook page. And I'm in it, and Leanne's in it. And it tells everything about what they found because before we filed the complaint, before we filed for a hearing, we filed for a complaint for an investigation. The state investigator found that 27 kids, at least, there was way more we found out later, but 27 kids that were referred for evaluation were never evaluated. Oh, they had to go and evaluate all of those kids, including the $10,000 they had to pay for only 2 evaluations. One was a functional behavioral assessment, and the other one was a neuropsych. Then she did it again with another school. Another school district had to pay for the same thing because everybody's stupid. It works. Then they refused to use them. Oh, yeah, that was the best part. They paid $10,000. I am not kidding. It's in the decision. They had to pay $5,000. That was the rate that the woman wanted for the neuropsych, and they had to pay $5,000 for the functional behavioral assessment that took, I am not kidding, 3 days. It took 3 days to do an observation and to do a written report. 3 days. They got $5,000 to people. And we got to pick who it was. See, when it works really well, okay? So then, once we did all of that, I'm hot again, I'm getting excited. So we did all of that, right? Wonderful. We get the report, of course, it finds all kinds of things. Can anything be done about the school district staff refusing to communicate with the parent of the, yes, file a complaint. File for due process hearing. Then you'll make them talk to you at the hearing. That's why I'm telling you, they're stupid. For any state to do this, what they're doing across the state, forcing parents into hearing, they're dumb, because you know what that is? This is what you do. You file for a hearing, okay, because the school district violated parent participation. That's a law. They violated it. There's nothing in it. And therefore, because they did that, that means they denied you the right to meaningfully participate in the team meeting process and in the decision-making process, because you are the decision-making authority for your kid. And because they refuse, now you subpoena everybody to go sit at the damn hearing, and you call them as witnesses. There, now what? You're going to talk to me one way or the other. We're going to have this meeting. It could be one day. That's how you get them. 300.321, yeah. Haven't done that. Haven't done it yet. That's okay. You got to do it. You guys got to do this stuff, because, one, it's the only way. You need an IE for my son. First of all, you got to be careful with IEs. Like I said, there's only 2 ways they can for sure take you to a hearing. And it's not really about you. It's the school district proving to the department, the State Department of Education, that their evaluations are comprehensive. That's why they have to go to court. And they can't delay. Once they refuse you the IEE of public expense, they immediately, without undue delay, file for a hearing. Okay? They have to do it right away. They have to prove them before you ask for an IE at public expense, make sure you've lined up your ducks, because for real, you're going to a hearing, because they're going to file it. Now, not every single time do they do that. Not every single time does every single school district file for a hearing. What they'll do is they'll drag it out. That's a violation. And what you do is you don't say a word about going to hearing. You don't say a word about going to hearing or nothing. You let them put the rope around their neck and let them choke themselves, because you file the hearing in 30 days. Because they were supposed to file immediately if you look up the law, 300.